Hello viewers and welcome back. Today we're diving headfirst into the darkest corners of Netflix, the horror movies that mess with your head, make your skin crawl, and have you sleeping with every light in the house on. And today's list, we've got a few international entries too that are genuinely going to blindside you. All other streaming platform availability is listed in the first pinned comment below. Now, lights low, let's go.
Ini jamu baru. Jamu awet muda.
Rural Java, family business, herbal medicine. Sounds peaceful, right? Wrong. Somebody chases eternal youth and suddenly the whole village is a zombie apocalypse. Indonesian horror doing what it does best, taking something grounded and culturally specific and making it deeply, brutally unhinged. The zombie design alone is worth the watch. Contorted bodies, bone cracks you can actually hear, makeup that's genuinely unsettling. This isn't your shuffling Western undeath. These things move wrong. The Outbreak is a slow pressure cooker of family guilt, greed, and chaos. And when it explodes hard. Director Kimo Stamble brings savage gore and a distinctive visual identity that makes us feel fresh even inside a crowded genre. If you've never explored Indonesian horror, start here. The movie is The ELIXIR.
I'm looking for my sister. Does she look familiar to you?
She's gone.
A group of friends, a remote valley, a deformed clown, and then everyone dies. And then they wake up. And then everyone dies again. Until Dawn takes the video game concept, restart at the checkpoint, try not to die, and turns it into a feature film that cycles through horror subgenres like a deranged playlist. Slasher, possession, found footage. Each reset brings something new, and the pace is relentless. You barely breathe between deaths. It's chaotic, self-aware, and committed to its own absurd brilliance in a way that's genuinely entertaining. Not every loop lands with equal impact, but the concept alone carries enormous momentum. For fans of the game, the nods are there. For newcomers, it's a wild ride regardless. Horror that knows exactly what it is and leans in hard. The movie is Until Dawn.
What is that?
You have about 20 minutes before you're completely paralyzed.
Grief, isolation, a charming manipulator with a syringe. Don't Move has every ingredient for a genuinely harrowing survival thriller, and you can see the potential simmering just beneath the surface the entire time. What it delivers is leaner than expected. The killer is menacing but emotionally shallow. The protagonist deserves deeper exploration than the script allows. What does work is the physical performance at the center.
Your breathing will become labored. And just before everything shuts down on you,
Paralyzed for most of the runtime, acting entirely through eyes and micro-expressions. And there are moments that land with real, quiet horror. It's a tense but frustratingly thin film, worth watching for the concept and the central performance. Just don't go in expecting psychological depth. The movie is Don't Move.
Oh my god. I'm calling 911.
Everyone chill out! We don't tell anybody what happened tonight.
Come on, the original had charm. Simple, campy, guilty pleasure fun that people have genuinely come to love over the years. This 2025 reboot looks that charm dead in the eyes and just loses it somewhere in the editing room. The pacing is off, the tonal whiplash between gory fun and serious darkness is exhausting. The twists are simultaneously predictable and make no logical sense. A genuinely impressive double failure.
Please stop!
Chase Sui Wonders brings real commitment and carries more of this film than the script deserves. But 111 minutes? For a slasher? Classic slashers understood economy. Get in, make the deaths count, get out. This one lingers in all the wrong places and rushes through all the right ones. Not unwatchable, just deeply, mournfully mediocre. The movie is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Janet?
Megan Rogers, principal's office right now!
Shadeside, Prom Night, a masked killer in a red rain poncho. Fear Street Prom Queen knows exactly what it is. Comfortable, committed 80s slasher nostalgia, and it delivers that specific thing with reasonable efficiency. The kills are creative and sharp. A paper cutter sequence, a buzzsaw to the face, moments that made me actually yelp. The killer has solid visual iconography. The 80s aesthetic is committed even if it feels more costume party than genuine period piece.
You having a good night?
Characters are thin. You won't be devastated when they go. But Susanna Son as Megan brings a genuinely unnerving codependent intensity that hints at something darker. She deserved a meteor script. Pure Friday night slasher energy. Nothing more, nothing less. The movie is Fear Street Prom Queen. And hey, if you're enjoying this horror deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe right now. It genuinely helps the channel keep going and means more lists, more chaos, more movies. You know the drill. Now back to it.
We have this house for the weekend.
Seems like we also booked this house.
A couple's getaway. Beautiful lakeside house. And then another couple shows up, too perfect, too knowing, and the whole thing curdles. Bone Lake works because the atmosphere is immaculate. Neo Giallo cinematography, deep saturated colors, shadows that feel intentional. A house that looks gorgeous and feels deeply wrong. The dread builds through details. A locked room, a lake with a dark history, strangers who know things they shouldn't.
But if you leave now, there are things about us.
It's riffing on relationship anxiety in a smart way. The horror isn't just physical, it's the slow creeping doubt about the person sitting right next to you. Some twists lean familiar, but the vibe is sustained and the visual identity is genuinely striking. Style and slow burn dread in equal measure. The movie is Bone Lake. South Korea, a new apartment, crushing debt, and noise from upstairs that slowly drives a man to the edge of sanity. Wall to Wall is Korean homeowner horror, a very specific, very precise genre, and it is masterful at making domestic spaces feel like psychological traps. The film uses sound and the deliberate absence of it to destabilize your grip on reality. Is this man paranoid? Is something genuinely wrong?
장난 아니야? 아래집에 이 집 이길 수 있을 것 같아.
The unreliable narrator is handled with real subtlety. No cheap twists, just persistent building unease. The metaphor of being crushed by your own living space, financially and psychologically, hits in ways that feel painfully contemporary. Smart, suffocating, and deeply unsettling. The movie is Wall to Wall. Valentine's Day, a yellow emoji mask with glowing red heart eyes, a killer hunting couples, and two people who have to convince that killer they are absolutely not in love while clearly falling for each other. Heart Eyes is delirious fun, and I will die on that hill. Rom-com and slasher simultaneously, both genres executed with gleeful, self-aware energy. The kills are creative, pulpy, and absurd in the best way. Machinery, everyday objects, knives. Real resourcefulness to the violence. The chemistry between the leads keeps you invested even through the cliches, and the pacing is tight. Funny, then gory, then genuinely tense, then funny again. The Heart Eyes killer is also just a great visual design, ridiculous and menacing. Shouldn't work as well as it does. The movie is Heart Eyes.
Dan dilarang untuk masuk.
Indonesia again, and this time ghost horror, Ringu DNA apartment dread. The haunted apartment Miss K is working in well-trodden territory, and it doesn't pretend otherwise. What it brings is something genuinely distinctive, traditional Indonesian dance woven into the mythology, regional folklore that gives the horror real cultural roots rather than generic ghost trappings. The script has holes, characters make baffling decisions, the plot twist is visible from a distance, but the atmosphere occasionally lands with genuine impact, and Cinta Laura Keel anchors it through the shakier moments. For international horror fans hungry for non-Western ghost stories, there's enough here to make it worthwhile. The movie is The Haunted Apartment Miss K.
20 years ago, my sister and 3 other students were murdered.
What if you could go back in time to save someone you never got to know? What if saving them meant you would never exist? Time Cut takes a genuinely rich paradox. A sister born to fill a void left by murder, traveling back to stop a killer she can't identify, and swings hard at something emotionally gutting. The early 2000s nostalgia lands, the music hits, the fashion choices are a whole journey, and the emotional core this movie wants to be, you can feel it reaching for something real. But the execution wobbles.
Summer, you're next.
Performances that feel stranded, logic that unravels fast. an ending that made me stare at the ceiling in genuine bewilderment. And yet, a broken film swinging at real emotion is more interesting than a polished film that feels nothing. Watch it, be frustrated, think about the movie it almost was. The movie is Time Cut. Thank you for watching. 10 disturbing, weird, international, and wildly different horror movies all on Netflix right now. Got a favorite from the list? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to keep the dark energy going, the next video is for you. Prime Video has been quietly stacking its library with some of the darkest, most underrated thrillers you've never heard of. Go watch it right now. Link is on screen. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more cinematic deep dives.